Hey everyone, it's September 23rd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with French serial killer George-Alexandre Sarret, whose crimes inspired those of later serial killers and murdered at least 5 victims in the 1920s and 30s. And that is him right up there. And I'd like to apologize for my terrible French pronunciation. Born in a part of present-day Italy and what was then in the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1878, Sarret moved to France while still a child and studied medicine, chemistry, and law at the University of Marseille, becoming a French citizen in 1903. He became a lawyer and got married, living with his wife and child in Marseille, but also embarked on a career of insurance fraud by getting his accomplices and lovers — France was a wild place in the early 1900s — 2 German sisters to marry elderly men. Sarret took out insurance policies on his victims, utilizing a defrocked priest to pose as the men and undergo a medical examination, thus fooling the company into thinking they were in good health. He and his lovers gave poison to their husbands to ensure a quick and tidy death, allowing Sarret to collect on the life insurance policies he had obtained. Sarret kept the bulk of the money from the scheme, threatening to turn his lovers in as German spies when they objected. In 1925, however, he decided that the man he was using to pose as the victims was getting greedy and wanted to cut him out. He shot the accomplice and his lover, then after 3 days of living in a home with rotting corpses, they placed the bodies in a bathtub filled with sulfuric acid to get rid of the evidence, dumping the remaining sludge in the garden. The next day, he retrieved a few gold teeth that survived the process. No one knew that the pair had been murdered, just that they had disappeared since their bodies were never found. 5 years later, Sarret had one of the sisters fake her own death, planning on obtaining the corpse of a woman near to her age who had recently been diagnosed with tuberculosis. When the woman got better, they used poisoned champagne to hasten her death, and his lover left town after receiving her payoff. She soon fell in love with a man who wanted to move to Marseille, however, and after returning, she was promptly recognized as someone who had been reported as dead, and police swooped in and arrested her for fraud. She confessed to her role in the murders that had taken place and implicated Sarret. When police examined his home, they found numerous bones from various animals, including rats, cats, and even a St. Bernard, which they believed to be from his tests of various strengths of acid to successfully dissolve a body. Due to his legal training, he was able to delay his trial for 2 years through motions he filed with the court, but eventually justice came for all involved in the scheme. The 2 sisters each received 10 years of hard labor, while Sarret was convicted and sentenced to death. He was decapitated via guillotine in 1934 in front of a crowd of onlookers. During the process, the guillotine jammed, causing Sarret to shout, "Imbeciles! Be quick, can't you?" After 10 minutes of waiting while strapped to the device, his head was severed from his body. His crimes reportedly inspired those of English serial killer John George Hay, known as the acid bath murderer, and you can learn more about him by scrolling down to July 24th. His 76-year-old executioner retired after the incident, which marks his 300th beheading, and headed off into the country to raise chickens. The story of George-Alexandre Sarret is the basis for the book The Infernal Trio, which was adapted into a comedy horror film in 1974. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to George-Alexandre Sarret, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.